Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to the second episode of the Rosberg career mode. Today we're in China, the scene of Rosberg's first ever win back in 2012. Anyway, let's get on track here. The qualifying session is upon us. And actually, I'm not going to lie, I think that I'm actually a bit better at this track, so hopefully I can get a good result. We had decent enough pace in Australia on the second stint, but just whether we can do it here today in China. Trying to stick to the race tonight. Looks pretty greasy out there, to be fair. I'm not sure if there has been rain, but currently we were P1 through that first bit. But Vettel, Raikkonen and Hamilton all back through as we're down to P4 on the brakes. A little bit of a lock up. We have actually got back into the lead though, braking obviously a little bit later than the rest of the guys. Even with the lock up, we've got ourselves back into the lead of the session, which is pretty good. First time I have experienced that so far. Still already 2 races in, but nice to feel it nonetheless. Oh, a lockout once again. That's not going to help. Edging out a bit wide. Oh no, that's so annoying. One lockup can make all the difference, and I've obviously made the change from using ABS to not using ABS in this game. So stuff like that, which is becoming a little bit trickier for me. Anyway, now it's time for the straight, where we should make time on the Ferraris. Unfortunately, I lost quite a bit of time in that middle sector there. We'll see if it's enough in the last sector. We can go a bit closer. I think we've had a pretty good setup for China here. Good top end speed. But are we going to be able to close in on these guys? On the brakes very late. Try not to lock up. Down to first gear. Shift it down to first. Accelerate through the gears. Not the greatest run out of that last penultimate corner, I should say. Hamilton's taken the lead into the last corner, but then Vettel's taking it back. The run up to the start finish line. It looks like it's going to be P4 for us. And Vettel takes pole again. Okay, well, as he says, that should be a bit more fun for us tomorrow, fighting our way through, but it's a bit of disappointment. 0.000, wow, first time in the game I've seen that, identical times for Vettel and Hamilton. Raikkonen 10th back, we're 6/10 back. We lost all that time pretty much in the middle sector, which is really frustrating. I was having a good lap until that point. Sorry about that, the voice just went. But yeah, I was having a good lap until that point, which is quite frustrating, but it's the way it goes. Hopefully in the race we know now that's the part of the track we need to focus on and make sure we don't do anything too silly. Right, race day, or do we go back to the menu? I can't remember. If we go back to the menu, that's definitely something I'll get frustrated about, because why are we going back to the menu just to basically press a button to go back into the race? It's like, we don't have to go back to the menu for absolutely everything. That's something that's really starting to get on my nerves, because it was something that was in the last game as well. Ferrari really aren't liking me so far. My reputation to Ferrari is not good. So the only thing we get is the reputation level, and then we just go to race. Like, I mean, I suppose you could change parts. I don't know. You should maybe have the option to go to motorhome or go to race. It would save so much time for some people, I think. That's just me personally, but it's quite annoying having to go back to the menu for absolutely everything, really. Anyway, second race of the season. Let's try and think about a bit of a brighter note. There's a good chance here we can battle for a victory, I feel. Like, I think we're much closer than we were in Australia. And I think we have the top end speed over the other guys. I mean, Hamilton probably is nearly as good top speed, but I think we definitely have better top end speed than the Ferrari cars, which obviously you need around China. But it's all about the start here. We could lose a position to Ricciardo once again. We'll see. Lights coming on, and the lights are out. Quick hold. Raikkonen doesn't get a great start. We get a pretty equal start. I think Ricciardo is alongside. You see with the red proximity arrows into the first corner. Raikkonen trying to take it, but he's not done it. But Hamilton's got past Vettel, who spun it. Vettel spun it into us. Vettel spun it into us and damaged our front wing. Wow, Sebastian Vettel's bottled it on the first lap, and he spun it into the side of me. He's How big's the damage? Oh. I'm just going to have to go quite crazy with the overtakes now. I want to try and catch up to Hamilton, because that's already a couple of seconds lost. Sebastian Vettel throwing it away at the first corner. How very unlike Vettel. He's normally very calm, except Azerbaijan, but he's normally quite calm in those sort of tough scenarios with wheel-to-wheel driving. But that's a bit of a hot-headed mistake there from Vettel, dropping it at the first corner. Right, do we have the race pace to close down these guys? That's the question. I just want to try and stay close enough to be within DRS when that happens, but I need to master the middle sector a little bit more here. Raikkonen's looking pretty good. He could be... Actually, no, he won't really. So I was going to be the top of the standings, but it'd be equal to Hamilton if it ended like it does. Lap 5 to 10. So I assume we'll come in about lap 6, to be perfectly honest, but we'll see. I'd rather obviously do what we did. I'd rather do what we didn't do last time, because the front two guys gained so much through the pit stops. But to do that, we need to be ahead of Hamilton. So we need to push here to make sure we're ahead of Hamilton, and we'll try and come in on lap number 6 if that's the case. So actually, I think we're going to use the rich fuel mixture now, even though we've got damaged front wing. I assume we're not going to change it in the pits, because it is very little damage, just a little bit the front end, and it's probably better for the race overall time to not change anything in the front wing. But we definitely need to go for it now. Vettel, I have no idea where he is. He's not out of the race because there's still 20 cars going round, but he must have dropped a long way down the field. Through the hairpin. We're going to have to absolutely go for it now. This part of the race is vital if we want to get ahead of Hamilton. As I said, lap number 6, we've sort of set ourselves a challenge there to get past Hamilton by lap number 6. I don't even know whether they're closing on Raikkonen, to be fair. I think we are. If we don't get past Hamilton by lap 6, we're going to have to pit on lap 5, and that's going to unfortunately get us behind traffic again, and maybe stuck up behind someone in the pit lane. I mean, if we can build up maybe 5 or 6 seconds to Verstappen, that also wouldn't be so bad. It would mean that we hopefully won't get held up whilst we're in pit lane. Won't get held whilst we're doing our pit stop. So far I'm not feeling too good. Not gonna lie, the race pace doesn't feel that amazing. But if we can try and get closer to Raikkonen and get within the second, that would be really vital, as I said, for the DRS. Oh. They haven't added the feature to slow you down off the track, which is good. We lost half a second to Raikkonen that lap, supposedly. We definitely got 6 tenths. What? That is some BS, I'm not gonna lie. There's no way we were 6 tenths of a second at the start of that to Raikkonen, because we just lost half a second to him on that lap. That's some confusing thing. So you went half a second quicker on that lap than me, but there's no way I started that lap within 0.6 seconds of him. So that is some weird things going on there. Purple through the first sector. Need to get within that DRS zone. That's exactly what he's thinking as well. Need to be closer to Hamilton. That's why I'm using the rich fuel mixture now, even though really I'd use it in a second stint like normally to get me closer to the AI cars out of the pit lane, but we need to get within the DRS zone, otherwise we'll lose these guys really, I feel. It's going to be close. Where is it? It's just after this corner, so we might, if we do a perfect line through here, it's 1.2. I don't know whether it's going to be enough. As long as Raikkonen doesn't get on Hamilton, actually we're alright. But he is closer, he is closer. Who knows? Can we see? Is he going to open up the flap? Will we see it? Can't actually see it activating there for Kimi Raikkonen. I think we're quite evenly spread out, us three. Hopefully once I put the pressure on Raikkonen a little bit, he'll get a bit quicker and he'll catch up to Hamilton. That's the aim. And then we'll all get into a bit of a DRS queue. That's the idea. We're sort of running right at that last corner. Is this going to be fast to lap the race? No. Maintain the gap there to Raikkonen on that lap. Because we need to pull in a couple of tenths of a second on this lap. I definitely feel I can do that tight line, but then I don't know whether it's actually beneficial or not, because it just sends me wide through the rest of the... We'll see it at the sector split. 1.1 was it last time. Oh, we're going to be closer this time. Into the braking zone. Pretty much identical. We've got a bit of a lock up. It hasn't actually affected us too much there, to be fair. Quite similarly the match to Raikkonen through that part. But the car not quite as much downforce as the Ferrari. They're not helping me out there. It's definitely the middle sector where I'm struggling. I think Raikkonen is in DRS zone now of Hamilton. That's gonna not be good. My voice is going a bit croaky. I don't know what's happening here. 1.5 seconds now. We need to just not worry about this too much. We need to worry as equally as about catching Verstappen, because I think through the pit stop stages we might be able to close on these guys if we try to do the undercut. It's just whether we get stuck in traffic. That's the big thing. If we get stuck in slow traffic, that's going to be something bad. Oh, I'm just going to throw it back into stand a few weeks now because I don't think I'm going to be able to catch them. What was a green flag? Someone's out of this race by the look of it. I mean, a safety car would be pretty nice. Carlos Sainz. So both Torossos, one of them has both retired from the first 2 races of the season. Not a great start for the Italian team. Right, to start finish line, this lap is not so good. Lost half a second. So I think they're telling me to pit this lap. Raikkonen's going side by side with Hamilton into first corner. There's surely got to be contact through there. Good move from Raikkonen though, but ballsy move from the AI. You don't normally see them making moves like that. Hamilton's coming back at him though. This is actually really helping us out. As they're going side by side, they're both slowing each other up. But actually, have they sorted it out? Has Raikkonen gone ahead? Alonso's out of the race. I mean, that's just a given, really, isn't it? 1.7 seconds. Okay, so they didn't really lose too much there. But Raikkonen into the lead again. This guy is so OP. I think we pulled out a good gap on Verstappen here, but is it going to be enough? That's the thing. Ooh, that wasn't a good line. So there's 2 cars, and Grosjean's out of the race as well, so we're down to 17 cars. Surely there needs to be a safety car. 3 cars littered on the track somewhere. So annoying. If we just, it's like a couple of tenths are in it, and then we'd have been in the DRS zone of Raikkonen, and then we might be past Hamilton as well, but we might be in that battle. But yeah, unfortunately for us, we are, well, need to shift up to 8th gear. We're sort of dwindling a little bit far back here. Right, I really need to get out ahead of Verstappen. That's the big thing. I need to make sure I don't get held by him. Then there's a chance, a possibility that we... Oh, he hasn't stopped. Okay, so that's good. So we shouldn't get held. We shouldn't get held. Okay, we're actually getting pulled in a bit early by the look of it. Nobody else is pitting.
Go now.
Are we going to come up behind this big queue of cars or right in the middle? Vettel's P10 right now. Okay, so it looks like we're going to come out behind this big queue, so we shouldn't be too affected by it, actually. And we're going to come out just ahead of Van Dorn, which is good. He was a bit in the way in the last race, wasn't he? Right, actually, so if we go fast fuel mix now, we might be a bit closer to the lads when we exit the pit lane. We'll see, maybe, I don't know, we're not going to be quick enough on this lap to get DRS from Palmer. I mean, I doubt it, but if we can get DRS off Palmer, that would actually really help. Actually, gain 2 seconds in like half a lap. And a lock-up's not going to help. We have got the superior car though. We'll see, and brand new tyres. Not brand new for long if I keep locking them up. Well, this has been quite a scruffy outlap, unlike Australia where it was quite a good outlap. This one's been quite scruffy. I feel like they've probably got the advantage on me here. They probably had a good in-lap. I've actually not really gained on Palmer in that sector, which is quite embarrassing. Oh, maybe I'm just over pushing it here. I'm pushing it a bit too hard. Right, we're still in a podium position. Got to keep positive, but then we're still losing ground on them both from the championship. Lewis in pit lane. Raikkonen stayed out for another lap, interestingly. Surely Lewis is going to get stuck up in this traffic, though. Some of these guys will be on soft tyres. He's just coming out the end of the pit lane now, is he? He's just exiting the pit lane now. Okay, so we've actually... I'd say we've probably gained a bit of time on him there. And he was probably quite close to Raikkonen. He's got cold tyres, so we'll see. And he's probably going to get stuck up in this traffic, which we don't know where they're going to in this race. I assume Palmer's definitely going to pit this lap. So we're going to have 2 lap older tyres than Raikkonen in this race. Let's get JP down the inside. Good stuff. We don't need to battle with each other, that's the thing. We don't want to battle each other on this outlap. So if I could just get a nice sweet DRS pass on him, that'd be great. But then I'm also going to encounter the annoying lap traffic at some point. At least we're closer to him, at least we're closer to him. And we're probably both going to get closer to Raikkonen, I'm sure, maybe, I don't know. I I think all of us are going to get stuck in this traffic though, because the weird strategy some people are doing. Half the race on the super softs is quite an interesting strategy. Sorry, I got a bit of a runny nose, lads. I apologise for a bit of sniffling. See, we're DRSing it to the max and we can't catch up to Hamilton. Oh. We caught up to back of Magnussen there. Is he going to stop this lap? Oh, Hamilton's been released. That's quite annoying. It's been a scruffy couple of outlaps here. Where's Raikkonen?
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer.
Oh, Raikkonen's appeared just in front.
Drop down to mix too soon.
Raikkonen's appeared in front. By, I don't know, a decent amount, but then he had got cold tyres, so we might close him down on this bit lap. See, we need to really just keep pushing with Hamilton here, trying to stay within the DRS zones, do as little mistakes as possible. It's all stuff that's obviously very hard to all do at once, but if we can keep with Hamilton, he might be able to catch up with Raikkonen, then we'll get the DRS. But the thing is, we're using rich fuel mix right now to keep up with Hamilton. Well, could we do it without? I don't know. We're not even really doing it with. It's a bit too quick for us, to be fair. Oh, the car's just not giving me what I want right now. The car's just not giving me what I need it right now. There's a massive gap to Verstappen. This is quite frustrating, actually. Like, you know that the pace is there, but something with the car's just not quite doing what I want it to do. It's just drifting out a little bit wide. We're going to have to go to standard mix now and just maybe see if they start battling. Just keep the pressure on them. Hamilton's going to have some big pace though. He's going to have some good pace to try and catch up to Raikkonen, because Raikkonen's doing a solid job. But he has nearly caught him, to be fair. But Raikkonen's tyres will be going up to temperature and they're newer. So interesting stuff is going on in this race. Is Raikkonen going to be able to hold off Hamilton? Down the main straight, across the start finish line. Poor lap time, 1.3 off Mr. Hamilton. So I like my tight line through there. It makes me feel like I'm catching up to the back of them, but then I don't get such a good run out of here. But I think this time it actually has worked a little bit. So what was it? I didn't even see what it was at the line, but it definitely feels a bit closer right now. It's about 1.1. Oh no.
We have 5 laps of
Luckily we didn't make too much of a, well, didn't do too much effect there, that lock up, but we're pushing too much here, we're pushing too much. It's such a good battle here, actually, isn't it? It's such good, like, so good to come into like a top team, actually have a nice battle with 2 teams, unlike previous years where you'd just be Mercedes out front by themselves. This season at least you've got a battle with Ferrari. It's obviously a titanic battle between the 2 top teams on the grid right now. Right, that felt like a better line through that corner, but it's not going to be helping us out too much. It's a pretty similar gap between myself and Hamilton and Raikkonen. I wonder where Vettel has got up to. He's probably got the pace to still get back up to P4, but yeah, if Vettel got back up to P4, that'd be an identical finish in both races. It would be quite funny, but I think it's more unlikely Vettel's going to close in this one. I don't know. So he's got his teammate out front. Oh, we keep running wide at this last corner. Keep misjudging it. Pretty much matched Hamilton on that lap, I think. I don't know whether he's catching Raikkonen or not. It's quite hard to tell. "15 seconds to Ricciardo. Wow. Makes you wonder what happened in their pit stops to be so far behind. I also wonder where Vettel is as well. Oh, purple through the first sector. Really close down the gap to Hamilton here. Unfortunately, it's the middle sector just before the DRS detection point is where we struggle and we lose the time. Just be a bit more sensible. Maybe we can. If we can get DRS from Hamilton, I'm feeling pretty good we can get past him, but still going to be about 1.1, I think. I mean, that was a bit closer.
Some information
Lance Stroll's got a problemo. Not good for him.
The gap behind us is
15.4 seconds. That is crazy. Vettel must be pretty close to them, surely. I think we all might be speeding up here. I don't know. Hamilton. I don't know. It's just Hamilton's slow. It's kind of hard to tell. We definitely gained on this lap though. What, 1.1 I'd say, probably across the line. Actually under it. We're nearly within the DRS zone. That was one of. We had a purple first sector there, didn't we? Our line through this corner is definitely working. Could it be under a second now? It's quite close. 3.5 laps remaining. It is under a second. Oh no. Could that be some of the turbulent air? I don't know. I don't know if that's in the game, but it's just me just pushing a bit too much. It's so frustrating. Look, he's right there. You feel like you should be able to get past him, but it's like a brick wall I'm running into right now. The pace just isn't quite there. Pace isn't quite there to catch him. So I think once we get into the DRS zone, there's a decent chance we could, get onto the back of him here. But I think Raikkonen might actually be gone. To be fair, Raikkonen's done a solid job. Hamilton can't catch him. We're slightly under with the fuel as well, but we'll leave that to the last lap to worry about. Well, we're definitely close. This is the closest we've been. We might even get DRS down the main straight here for the first time. Yes, we will. Good stuff. So straight away, this is going to be our best chance to get Lewis. It's got to be this lap, surely. Look how much time we're getting through doing that tighter line. I know it's probably not really the conventional line, but it works in the game. So we've got to focus on this middle sector here. This is the one we need to really focus on. This is where we've been losing all of the time really to the main guys, but we're right up behind Lewis right now. Well, not right up behind him, but he's just got the extra traction through there. He's got the front downforce that I just am lacking. No, what am I doing?
The gap to the car behind is
Just pushing too hard, trying to do something, overdriving the car. It's back up to 1.3. Why did I shift down to first gear there? Damn it, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. As you say, he's right there. But that might be it. I've just pushed a bit too much on that lap. I overdrove the car on that lap for sure. That was an opportunity. But the middle sector, I just couldn't keep it together. Or maybe it's Hamilton pushing it a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell, but I definitely made some mistakes on that lap.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
1 lap of fuel remaining. Right, I think we might just have to call it that then, lads, unfortunately, because I've got to save some fuel now. But another good job. Ricciardo looks like he's going to pick up P4. Means Sebastian Vettel, you'd say probably the championship favourite going into the season, is going to be dwindling. He's probably going to have half the points of his teammate Raikkonen. Kept the gap to Hamilton in that first sector, even on lean fuel mix, but this is where the middle sector is going to be tougher for me. So if I try to do what Lewis Hamilton does through there, I'd just go off. But we're not really under attack from Ricciardo behind, so we've got grass all over our tyres now. Oh well, we gave it our best shot, but I just didn't have that last couple of attempts to catch Hamilton in the middle sector, this one right here. So we're just going to bring it home now, not doing anything too silly. Third place and more points, it's solid. Keeps us in about the championship battle. Raikkonen will have 50 points, Hamilton will have 36, I'll have 30. So Raikkonen's got a bit of a lead, but I think there'll be tracks where we should do better. There'll be tracks we should do better, but we'll just bring it home now. Not doing anything too silly. If one of them obviously has a problem and retires in the last lap, we'll pick it up anyway. But I don't want to end up spinning and crashing into a wall through trying to really push Hamilton, especially as we had to save fuel. So just cruise it home this last lap and a half here.
This is your final lap of the race.
But I think definitely the pace was there where it wasn't in the last one. We struggled in the last one, especially in the start. We had pace sort of all the way through this race, and we sort of kept them. I mean, it was still better pace in the second half of the race in comparison to the first. Maybe I don't suit maybe the softer compounder tyres. I don't know, but when we got to the harder compound tyre, and then, in the said weekend, I do seem to do a little bit better. So, I'm looking forward to the next Grand Prix. I think, is it Bahrain? I think Bahrain might be the next Grand Prix. Bahrain and Russia, 2 tracks I actually do enjoy. Are they Mercedes tracks? I can't remember from real life. Bahrain, wasn't that Vettel, I think? And then obviously Sochi was Bottas in real life. So, I think definitely Sochi's one I'm aiming for. That's got to be battling seriously for the victory. Next time out in Bahrain, I'd like to compete, but I don't know whether the car and myself would be so good there. I like the track, don't get me wrong, I like the track, but I don't know whether I personally can push it to the next level there. Anyway, couple of corners to go here in China. I'd say a solid result. Pace was good. Unfortunately, we got within a second of Lewis Hamilton, then sort of threw it away a little bit in the middle sector by pushing and overdriving the car. Raikkonen wins again. Like, honestly, mate, so unrealistic. 1:37.2 was my best lap time. That's okay. I think it was maybe a tenth or two off Raikkonen's fast lap as he exited the pit lane. He did a lap just after that, which was pretty solid. But on the podium once again, celebrations for the team. They'll be happy with that. And I think I'll say I'm pretty happy with that as well. Good result. There we go on the podium once again. P3 though, unfortunately. Of course, no one wants to finish anywhere but the top step of the podium in a top car. But it's the way it goes. Raikkonen wins again. Let's have a look at what it looks like in the standings then, guys. This could be... Oh, Massa finished 5th. Wow, Vettel P7. Right, there in the standing, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. I need to go and blow my nose because I'm not feeling too good. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And I'll see you guys around soon. Goodbye.